Well, hello there, Ann here, and today we're going to talk about the ugly side of YouTube that nobody tells you about. Should you start a YouTube channel in 2021? I wrote down a bunch of pros and cons, so if that is something that you're interested in, just stay tuned. Alright, so if you don't know, I have a main channel called Just Ann, and I have about 47, close to 48,000 subscribers over there. Last month made 4 years that I had a YouTube channel. So I have a lot of smaller creators that reach out to me to ask me, you know, what should they do about their YouTube channel? They just started, or should they start a YouTube channel? So I figured, why not make a video explaining or telling you guys my side, what I think people should know before they start a YouTube channel or if they just start it. So I wrote here a list of like the pros and cons of what I experienced, you know, so this may not be everything, but I think it's the main focus point that everybody should know. First, before I get started, I want to tell you why I started a YouTube channel. I started in February 22nd, 2017 was my very first YouTube channel. And oh my God, I was so nervous. But I was very, very depressed. I had no friends. And I just started to get into YouTube, like watching YouTube channels, subscription boxes, makeup. And I was getting subscription boxes. And I was like, you know what? I became friendly with a couple of YouTubers. And they all kept telling me, you should make a YouTube channel. So I started my YouTube channel. And when I tell you I knew nothing about YouTube, I mean, when I tell you nothing, I mean nothing. And these are the things that I wish somebody would have told me when I first started my channel. The first thing is, don't start a YouTube channel if you're just doing it to make money. Because I'll tell you what, it's not going to end well. Okay? Now, when I started YouTube, you only needed 10,000 views to get monetized. And then shortly after that happened, I think they changed it to where you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch time hours, which can take some time to get. You know, it's not as easy as what you think, right? And even if you're at the level where I'm at, that I am very close to having 50,000 subscribers, I still don't make enough to live off. Now, I make enough to have, you know, to get a check that I can pay for all my subscription boxes. You know, I can buy any makeup that I want. You know, I live okay, but I'm also married. If I was not married and had that income, there would be no way that I can ever pay all my bills on the income that I get. You know what I mean? So, if, like I said, if you are just doing it to get paid, I wouldn't even start a YouTube channel. You know, you got to do it because it's something that you want to do, a hobby for fun. That's how you really have to look at it. So for me, if somebody asked me, why did I start my channel? I would say because I was depressed. I got connection with you guys. It really got me out of my depression. And it was just a plus that I'm able to make money off of it, you know? So when you're starting a YouTube channel, you don't need to buy anything. Like, you can start a YouTube channel with no money. You don't have to buy all these fancy lights. All you need is your phone, and that is it. When I first started, I had a computer and I used a webcam, and then I didn't have any lights, so I filmed during the day. So when it was after 5 o'clock at night, I couldn't film. So I just did natural sunlight, a webcam, and I was good to go. I didn't even edit for the first 2 years that I did my YouTube channel. I don't feel that you need to spend all this money on a camera, lights, because what happens in a couple weeks or a few months, and you find out this is something that you don't want to do. You know what I mean? Then you just spend all that money for what? Right? And I really don't think you should put a whole lot of money into your channel until you're monetized. You know? But I will say, now, even though I'm saying you don't need to spend a lot of money to start a YouTube channel, there are a few things that you definitely need to have in order to gain subscribers or for anybody to click on your video or to stay. And the number one thing is is your lighting. Now, like I said, you can do it in natural sunlight. But if somebody clicks on your video and you're in the dark, they're going to click right out and they're definitely not going to subscribe. If you have lights that are too blinding that you could barely see where your nose is, right? They're not going to stay. They're going to click out and they're definitely not going to subscribe. So the lighting is definitely a key point. So like I said, you can do it in natural sunlight, or if you have to do it at nighttime, then I would definitely recommend lights. You don't have to go right out and buy a ring light. You can use soft boxes. I used soft boxes for the first 2.5 years that I did YouTube, and I think I paid $85 for 2 softbox lights. They're not that expensive. You can go right on Amazon. The second thing is audio. Audio is a big thing. So you don't want to, you ever go to somebody's channel and you hear that echo? That's not a good thing either. Or they can hardly hear you. If you were having problems, then I definitely suggest to get a microphone. You don't need to buy a $200-300 microphone. You can go right on Amazon and buy a $20 microphone. Even less than that. It's not that expensive to buy, and that really helps if your audio is good, if people can hear you. So definitely the lighting and audio are the 2 most important things, I think, when you start your channel that you really have to focus on first. Then, of course, you have to have a niche. A niche? I'm not sure how you have to say it. You know, I do subscription boxes. Now, where I messed up is that's all I did on my channel. And even early on, a lot of people said, why don't you do tutorials or reviews? And I was too self-conscious and I never did it. So now when I try to do something different than subscription boxes, guess what? YouTube doesn't recommend it. And my views are very low, because YouTube looks at it as the only content people like on my channel is subscription boxes. So what I should have done is beauty related things as far as subscription boxes, reviews, tutorials, shop with me, you know, things of that nature that still has to do with beauty, but it's still in my niche, however you say it. In other words, I don't want to do a BoxyCharm unboxing and then my next video is changing oil on a car, right? That's 2 separate things that you might bring one audience to one video and they are definitely not going to be for the other one. So you need to have some kind of niche. Another thing that is very important is a lot of people think it's how you tag your YouTube video. No, the most important thing is your thumbnail. Okay? Because a lot of people think, well, I need to tag it. If I tag it like this, it could be recommended. And that is true. But that doesn't, YouTube can't make somebody click on your video. And that's the most important thing. It's kind of like you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, right? So your thumbnails are the most important thing because that will make somebody either click on your video or not. So a lot of people ask me like, okay, because I do on my main channel, I do a lot of bright green and yellow in my thumbnail. And some people ask me, why do you use those colors? Because I always use the same colors and because they're bright. You know, it's kind of like if you've seen something, a painting that had reds and yellows and greens, or a painting that had grays and blacks and white. What would you most likely, where do you think you would look at first? Where would your eyes tend to go to first? Most people will go to that bright color. That's why babies, they like that bright color. You know, they tend to do that. That's why they like cartoons. So that's what grabs somebody's attention is those bright colors. That's why I always use the greens and the yellows, you know. The second thing is your title. So you want your thumbnail and you definitely want a title. You know, you want kind of like a catchy title, not clickbait. You know, like I don't want to put like in the beginning of the month, BoxyCharm, March 2021. And when you click on it, it's a glossy box. That's what you call clickbait. You want some kind of catchy title for somebody to click on it. So you want your thumbnail, your title, your description. You want it all to match. And then your tags. Now, years ago, tags was very important, but like I said, it kind of took the back burner. You really want your thumbnail and your title. That's the first 2 things that you really want to focus on before you publish your video. Now, some people ask me, Do I need to edit? Because like I said, for the first 2.5 years, I didn't edit. Now, the reason why I didn't edit is because I don't like change and I don't know technology. I am not tech savvy. Now, I did have somebody, which I'm so thankful to this day, show me like the very basics on how to edit. And then I stayed up many nights till 5:30 in the morning watching tutorials and videos, YouTube videos on how to edit using that app. Do you need to edit? No, absolutely not. You don't need to edit, but I do think editing does help. In other words, now there are a few people that had reached out to me and they were wondering like, how come, like let's say they had a 20-25 minute video, you know, people are only staying on for like 6-7 minutes. And I said, well, how long is your video? And they were like 20-25 minutes. And that's the key problem. It's too long. You have to edit out. It's good to learn how to edit. For instance, I do unboxing. So nobody wants to sit there and watch me if I'm struggling opening a box for 2 minutes, you know, then you can edit that stuff out. It was very hard when I didn't edit, because let me just tell you, okay, picture this. So when I first started, in my other house, I used to film in the dining room, okay, during the day. And I had a puppy. I had a pit bull who was 5 months old at the time. So if somebody knocked on the door, if she heard something outside, she would bark, 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 bark. Well, I didn't know how to edit. So guess what I had to do? I had to erase that video and start all over. You don't know how many times I had to start all over. Or I would mess something up. Or I would hold up a box and I didn't realize it had my address on it. Guess what I had to do? I had to start the whole thing all over again. If you know how to edit, it's so easy. You can just blank certain things out and it's much easier to do. So I do suggest that you do learn how to edit, but it's definitely not mandatory. You also need to learn analytics. Analytics helps a lot. If you guys want me to really get into explaining the analytics, give this video a like, let me know down below, and I'll get further in detail of how analytics works. But that is so important that you definitely need to know, because you can go in your analytics and you can see your click-through rate. You can see how long somebody's watching your video. You can actually go in there and see whereabout are people dropping off, you know, when they're clicking out. And it's so important, and that way you can improve your video. You can figure out, okay, they are clicking out at 5 minutes in. Why are they doing that? Why aren't they watching to the end? What is going on? So that will help you a lot, and that will also help you getting better on YouTube to get people to stay, because that's the key thing. YouTube is a business, right? They're about making money. So if you put out videos and people aren't staying long on your videos and you're not making YouTube money, they're not going to promote your video. You know, they are about making money. So if they can't make money on you, you can forget about it, right? And also you want to make money yourself. A lot of people think that YouTube is very easy to do. I can just start a YouTube channel and it's very easy. It's not as easy as what it looks. And many people that are just starting out can tell you the same thing. YouTube is very time consuming. So you have to put some time in when you want to start a YouTube channel, because it takes a while for me to get ready, right? You don't have to wear makeup. I mean, you don't have to do that when you start a channel, right? But I do. So it takes time to put makeup on. Then to make your video, that takes time. Then I edit, which takes a lot of time. Then after you edit, you have to export it. Then you have to upload it to YouTube. Then once it's uploaded to YouTube, you have to do the title. You have to fill out the description. You have to tag it. Then you have to make a thumbnail. So one video can take 5 to 6 hours, if not longer. So it's very time consuming, you know? YouTube can take away from your family, can take away from a lot of things. So I would only start a channel if you really have some time to really focus on your channel, you know? I also don't recommend spending a lot of money on your channel until you're monetized. See, what my problem was when I started my channel, I did subscription boxes and I was buying all these subscription boxes and I was paying hundreds of dollars a month. And I wasn't monetized. It took me over a year to get monetized, okay? In 1 year, I think I had 1,400 subscribers. And the only reason why I remember is because my goal was to get 1,500 subscribers in a year, and I was like 100 short. But I was spending literally $300, $400, $500 a month. And then I was doing giveaways. Then you have to pay to ship your giveaways, right? And that's the most stupidest thing that I could have done. What I should have done was, okay, get some subscription boxes, but also do like free videos. videos, shop my stash, go shop with me, things like that, show my collection, review products I already have. That type of stuff doesn't cost any money. Sit here and talk like I'm doing to you now. Stuff like that. Instead of buying all this stuff, I would purchase all this makeup. That's another video I have about makeup addiction. So make sure you have your post notification bell on and subscribe if that's something that you'd be interested in seeing next. But I was spending all that stuff and then I wasn't reviewing it on my channel. I wasn't utilizing the stuff that I was buying. And so I was in the hole every month by between $300 and $500, which makes no sense at all. Another thing I wish somebody would have told me is about hate comments, trolls, bullies. I had no idea. When I tell you when I was new to YouTube, guys, I was never in like those chats, whatever they're called, MySpace, group chats, none of that stuff. I didn't even have Facebook, Instagram, any of that stuff before I started my YouTube channel. And I remember I did YouTube for about 2 or 3 weeks and I got my first mean comment and I'll never forget it. And it was, "You look like a fat, ugly lesbian." And I'll never forget, I went to my husband and I was just like crying. I couldn't believe it. Because like I said, when I started my channel, I was very depressed. I was at my highest weight. I was like almost 200 pounds. I'm only 5'3". So I was damn near 200 pounds or if not a little bit more. So I was very heavy for my height, where my build, what I'm used to being. I'm about 150 right now. So 50 pounds extra is a lot of weight for somebody being 5'3", right? And so I was very sensitive, depressed, self-conscious, and that really hurt my feelings. And I couldn't believe that another person would say that to somebody. Well, I learned real quick. And I wish somebody would have told me, or I would have known to say, don't worry about these comments. Some people just get on to troll, to get to anybody and just say mean comments. They'll say that to me and they've said it to 100 people. That's just what they do. And I wish I would have known that. I also had somebody tell me, you wear too much makeup. You need to realize that God doesn't make every woman beautiful, and any amount of makeup isn't going to make you look pretty. I had somebody tell me I look like I eat 800 Big Macs. Stuff like that it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? I'm just doing subscription boxes. Where is this coming from? And I used to get my feelings hurt. I could have had 100 comments telling me how much they like my channel, they like my personality, and that one person say something negative and it would make me all upset. So if you're going to start a YouTube channel, you got to realize you will get some hate. You will get these comments, but ignore them, because those little 1% comments that you will get 1,000, hundreds of comments of positive. And that's what you need to focus on, right? Because what somebody says to you does not make you shit, right? In other words, what somebody says doesn't make a difference to you. Who are they? They're nobody to you. Don't worry about what they say or what they think, right? And unfortunately, we're human, we're flesh, and we do. So I wish somebody would have told me that you're going to get some comments, but ignore and worry about the positive. I also had people ask me, should I start a channel in 2021? And I say yes. Listen, it's very oversaturated. It's very competitive, okay? But I still think better late than never. You still should start a channel. I think anybody should. I really, really do. It's hard to get millions of subscribers now. The people that have millions and millions of subscribers started almost in the beginning or started early enough that there wasn't so much competition, right? So it was easy for them. Now it's hard, like I said, because there's so many. When I started doing unboxings on my main channel, there wasn't very many unboxing channels, really. I could probably list maybe about 4 or 5 people that were doing them, okay? There might have been more, but I'm just saying that I know of. Now, you type in BoxyCharm, Ipsy, there's hundreds of unboxing channels, right? But I still say, do it. What's it going to hurt? You still should try, because I think you should start now than later. I really, really do. I think there's a niche for everything on YouTube. There really, really is. I wish somebody would have told me about the competitiveness. I don't understand that, but they are. It's like, I became friends with a few YouTubers that I'm friends with now too, but there's others that I had to kind of like let go, let that negativity go, because it's all good until then. If you get more views than them or whatever the case may be, there's that competition, and I don't understand it, but it's true. It's like People want to step on people's toes to get up. People start growing and they don't want to give shout outs or help the smaller creators because they're scared they're going to do better than them. I don't understand it, but it's true. I wish somebody would have told me about that, and that way I would not have paid any attention to it. You know what I mean? I had people reach out to me and say, how do you get, I don't get that many views. I get between 8 to 15,000 views, depending on what I'm doing in my subscription boxes. Is it a BoxyCharm, Ipsy, or something different, right? And then there might be somebody that might do a BoxyCharm. I might get 15, 20,000 views, and somebody might get a couple hundred, and they'll reach out to me and say, what am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. You cannot compare the views that I get to what you get because I have more subscribers than you. If you only have 1,000 subscribers and I have 47,000 subscribers, you're not going to get as many views as me. So you should not, just like with me, that people that have bigger channels than me, I cannot compare myself to somebody else getting better views than me. It's not that I'm doing anything wrong. And a lot of the times it's just luck. You don't have to do anything wrong. It's just YouTube. It's all about luck, really. It's like the lottery, you know? When my channel's not doing well and I'm like, what's going on? How do I improve it? I look at my channel. I don't look at anybody else's channel and I say, what am I doing wrong? Do I need to work on my thumbnails? Do I need to work on my titles? Do I need to be more unique? Do I need to work on myself? What do I need to do different? And that's what we need to learn. And I wish somebody would have told me that instead of focusing on somebody else's numbers, subscribers, you know, the competitiveness. And I really think that makes a difference when you look at yourself instead of what everybody else is doing. So having said all that, you know, I love YouTube, and YouTube is so fun for me. YouTube, I have such a connection with so many of you guys that I cannot tell you. You know, in 2019, I lost my mother. I lost my grandmother. I lost my mother on Thanksgiving. I almost lost my daughter. She had open heart and lung surgery. And I'll tell you what, I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have you guys, the support from you guys. So you guys mean so much to me. And if I had to start it all over again, I would do it in a heartbeat. You know, I think it's fun. I think you can grow friendships, connections, and I just love YouTube. I really, really do. All right, guys, so that is just a few things that I wanted to talk about. Let me know in the comments if there's any more questions that you guys want me to answer. Do you guys want me to do a part 2? If I get enough questions that I did not touch on now, I'll do a part 2 to this. So give me a thumbs up if you guys want me to make a series, like I can actually really get more into analytics on how that works, you know, how I do my thumbnails. How I tag my videos. If that's something that you guys will be interested in, then make sure you give this video a thumbs up. That way I know this type of series is something that you're interested in. Like I said, leave some more comments down below, and if I get enough of them, I'll definitely make a part 2 to the ugly side of YouTube that I wish somebody would have told me about. Alright guys, that is everything. Please like this video. It really does help me out. If you like this type of stuff, if you want to get to know me more on a personal level, then please consider subscribing to this channel. I would love for you to join our family. Don't forget, I do have a main channel, so if you're interested more in beauty, subscription boxes, mystery boxes, I will leave that link down below. Go give that a follow. And that is everything, guys. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me. I really, really appreciate it. Stay beautiful, stay blessed, stay healthy, and I will definitely see you guys in my next video. Bye.